If Labour got into government, it would cause a slip in the pound and the housing market would see a huge shortage. Whose words are these? Well, they're Labour's. So, to begin, before we get all the stupidness in this world out of the way, Saudi Arabia stunned everyone yesterday. They announced they will be allowing women to drive from next year. It's a great step forward. I never understood that law myself. Also, Twitter announced that they're going to double tweet length, which is going to be a lot easier. It was too short to begin with, in my opinion. It is good though, it allows for a good length of message while still keeping it short. Also, work has begun on Trump's border wall. Prototypes are built by structuring companies, or they're being proposed by structuring companies for him to see. He has said he wants it to be see-through as well, apparently to stop people getting hit on the head by flying drugs. But it is his wall, he can do what he wants with it. But this leads me on to what he decided to spark over the weekend. So there was a big fuss over the weekend. Trump decided to tweet as he does. He tweeted about how NFL players who kneel during the national anthem should be fired. If you remember Colin Kaepernick last year, he said he saw what he thought was alleged or what he thought was police brutality against people in the United States. And he kneeled down during the national anthem as a protest against that. He also decided to wear pig socks with police hats, which was in quite bad taste. But needless to say, he decided to kneel. And then Trump tweeted about, he said in a rally, how he thinks the SOBs who do that, I'm not going to say the word, SOBs who did that should be fired by the NFL owners of clubs. And this is stupid. First of all, there weren't many players kneeling before he decided to tweet and talk about it. Most acknowledged that they were there to play a sport, and people were most likely there to escape politics and just go and watch a game of sport. But now he's made it into a Trump issue. So kneeling during the national anthem is now not protesting against the alleged police brutality or inequality in society that Colin Kaepernick saw. It is now a way of protesting Trump, because Democrats and people on the left in the US, they are so blind in their Trump hatred that they react in exactly the way they think he doesn't want them to. So, do they have a right to protest? Yes, of course, it's a free country. Do people have a right to say, take politics out of the game completely? I'm here to be entertained, and your job is to entertain me? Yes. But what I would recommend doing is, if you're going to protest, don't rise to Trump's bait. So do what others did, right? And stand with arm's length to show that, if you feel Trump's comments are meant to divide you, as many have said they think they are, and I think they are, then show unity and just don't rise to the bait. Anyway, finally, on to the Labour conference. So today was the final day of the conference in Brighton. I turned it on just after lunchtime and saw them having a little sing-song at the end, and then there are a few banners and stuff like that. And then in all the interviews that people were doing on the floor, people like Emily Thornberry and John McDonnell and some others, they seemed very upbeat. They seemed as if they'd won something almost. They were all very, very happy, but they are being honest about what would happen if they did win. Now, the first thing they said, or rather John McDonnell, their in-house communist and shadow chancellor, said they would be prepared for a huge fall in the pound if they won. So they are prepared for the economy to falter massively, to suddenly see price of imports shoot up, right? No party has ever spoken like this, right? I'm all for political honesty, but come on, right? Could you not actually think that maybe if you getting elected is going to cause the economy to dip straight away, that might be because of businesses being worried about your economic outlook and plans, right? The outside investors looking in may be worried about our future in the markets and our economy, right? It's ridiculous. And as always, Corbyn gave us a brave new idea to end off his speech. He's going to cap rent. This is also stupid. Why? Because when you cap rent, real estate investors, landlords and estate agents start to pull out of the market, because the returns will eventually start to look less appetizing compared to elsewhere, especially for less efficient firms. So, the supply of housing drops. What does that do? It creates another shortage of housing, and it causes house prices to rise to the maximum rate they can go. So, What do you have to do to solve that? You either have to borrow loads to build government housing, which will be low quality and in cheap areas most likely, as they are now, or you have to force firms to build when they're not making a profit, which I'm worried Labour won't have much of a problem with doing. So it's overall good to see that Labour have thought through their plans well. But anyway, I'll be back tomorrow, where I'm hoping nothing will change, but then what world would we live in if we didn't have a stupid moment here and there to talk about? I'm Max, and this is the EB Podcast.